Sometimes I sit back and equate life to a job contract. It can be one bright morning and you get lucky to sign the contract you have always longed for years. Say the contract is for 5 years. You start off with joy, excitement, and enthusiasm, looking forward to giving it your very best with hope of renewing the contract again. You definitely go through the ups and downs that teams usually experience. But it's all good. Your hope makes you stay the course. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. You are happy. 2 years is gone and it's 3 years to go. You put in more effort to impress your bosses. It's now mid-3rd year into your contract. As you're tucking in to max your potential, you get summoned to your boss's office and your ears get to listen to what you least expected. As an organization, we are undergoing a tough and rough time, which has forced us to minimize our expenses. James, you are one of our excellent members here. However, we regret to inform you that your contract has been terminated. This hurts. It puzzles, confuses, and disappoints. So is life. Your life contract can be terminated at any time, despite how geared up you are to do better. On the 6th of May 1984, my brother and friend SABIITI signed his life contract. And on the 6th of October 2021, that's about 25 days ago, his contract was suddenly terminated. Eternal rest granted to him, O Lord, and let your perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace. Amen. Eternal rest granted to him, O Lord, and let your perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace. Amen. Eternal rest granted to him, O Lord, and let your perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace. Amen. Welcome to Elevation Chapter, the channel that promotes human connection, spreads positivity to recover humanity. My name is Nelio. For 3 weeks, we have not been here. However, life has been happening. Today, I'm here to pay tribute to my fallen friend and brother, whose life contract was terminated 25 days ago. He suddenly finished his race. I want to share lessons from this very predicament and his life as a young man. God is always ahead of us, and God is not a joke, and never will he be one at any moment. On the 5th of October 2021, God prepared me and sent me on a journey to Mbara in the name of, let me go and execute my personal business and travel back to Kampala on the 7th, which was supposed to be a Thursday. Little did I know that God was telling me to travel ahead of time so I can help out when clouds turn dark on us as a family. I arrived in the evening and joined my mother at a home slightly out of Mbara city center. My father and my other 2 brothers were at the town home. Peacefully, we had a girl-to-girl moment with my mom. She happens to be 2-in-1 for me. She's my mother and sister, since I'm the only girl in 3 boys, now turned 2. The next day, we all had our personal businesses. I left her prepping herself, and at around 1 or 1:30 p.m., I received a call from Mommy. Hey Nelly. Yes, Mommy. I asked her if she was already in town, since she was supposed to be in town. She said, oh, I was getting ready and I received an urgent call from Marvin. Marvin happens to be one of my brothers. Mommy, if you don't come now and see SABIITI, you might not get another chance to see him alive. Now, if you are a mother and you receive such a call, you know how fast you can act. So she narrated the state my brother was in. She's like, he's vomiting blood. He's not breathing well. He doesn't want to eat for fear of vomiting and running. I said, hey, stop there. You need to take him to see a doctor. I advised her to get him ready for the hospital. Quickly, I reached out to our dear auntie, who works at the Mbara Regional Referral Hospital. Good enough, she was at the hospital. I told her the emergency at hand, and she started doing what she does best. She's the kind that acts very fast, very, very fast, and has the ability to influence almost everyone. Auntie Penny, I know you will watch this. You are a special gem. God bless you. Fast forward, I call one of my friends in town. I call him my son, even though we are almost the same age. Now, this one is the kind who doesn't work under pressure at all. At all. And here I am calling him to leave all he's doing to assist my mother and brother get to the hospital. He said, Mama, I'm busy, but nevertheless, let me see what to do. I told him it's very urgent, my son. Please, please. After a few minutes, I called him again, and he was already at home. My son, Chizito Lubega, I know you will also watch this. Thank you for working under pressure for once. Webari Chish. God bless you. When they reached the hospital, my aunt took over. Quickly, my brother was admitted in the emergency ward. And from that time, I started receiving calls back and forth. Before I could know it, Mommy's telling me, he's just finished the 4th bottle on drip, starting the 5th. And that was within 30 minutes or so. Before I could take that in, another call. His sugar level and blood pressure are too low. As I was winding up to find them at the hospital, my auntie calls me. He is having difficulty in breathing, so we have put him on oxygen. Hey, things are happening so fast. As I get to the hospital, another call comes in from my auntie. Nelly, are you already in town? Yes, in fact, I am on my way to the hospital. Oh, okay. Please first go home and bring us ABCD. All right, auntie, I am on it. As I was on the motorbike headed home, this is yet another call from auntie. Nelly, where have you reached? I said, I'm almost getting home. And she said, take your time. Take your time. Don't be on pressure. It looks like it's done. I kept quiet on phone while on a motorbike. She asked me again, have you heard what I just said? I told her yes. She now said it plainly. He has passed. I looked at the time. It was 19 past 5 p.m. I told the border guy to make a U-turn and we head to the hospital. Quickly, I rushed to the emergency ward, met Mommy crying out her eyes, and Daddy totally confused. I hugged them and asked where my brother was. My auntie directed me and I met my brother, SABIITI. I held him tight. I shook him while calling out his name in vain. His body was still warm. I had hope that maybe he might get up. It never happened. The medical officers had to come and ask me to give him way for them to dress him up. I kept standing there. My worst moment though was seeing him being taken to the mortuary. Leaving that space was the toughest thing for me. They literally drop off bodies like objects. I kept beside him, removed the cloth off his face, kept staring at him, not sure whether it's true, until my auntie came for me and forced me out of the mortuary premises, showing me how it's not only his body over there. But she showed me a couple of other bodies that were being brought in and said, by morning, this whole place is full of bodies. And then she told me, Nelly, I said yes, you need to be strong for mommy. And then it hit me hard that I had to be strong for my own faults. My brother left home well knowing he's going back. In fact, he was proposing to mommy to stay for a night as they monitor how he will be. But mommy insisted on going to the hospital. The next morning, I read a message in his phone. He had sent it to his boss on the 5th of October, that was a Tuesday. His boss on that day was calling him over and over again in vain. And the message reads, Uncle, please don't think I've disappeared from you. I ate muchomo in town the other day, but since yesterday, I am about to die. Everything I put in the mouth, I either vomit or run to the toilet with a lot of pain. We connected this message with what was being shared by some of his friends on the night of his passing. And definitely the abnormal vomiting of blood with some thick particles of blood. And we deduced it was food poison. My brother must have been poisoned. In fact, my brother was poisoned. Some wanted us to follow up the matter, but that would never allow us to heal, especially for our old faults. On the other hand, though, justice is good. But justice doesn't serve 100% when a life is already gone. So in this case, karma takes over. Oh yes, he does. What have I learned? And what can you learn? Number one, be prepared every time. Be ready for transition every day. I am a Catholic and we have a prayer titled Resignation in Death. It is recommended to be prayed daily. It literally prepares you to meet your own death. Remember, we don't know the day, the hour, and the how of our death. That was hidden from us and we shall never know it. In this fast-paced world, where we are preoccupied with lots of non-essentials on the internet and many other things, please find time to prepare your soul. Be intentional on this. We are not here for long. Number two, have reliable and dependable friends. A family member can be a good friend, and a friend can be family. It's unfortunate our generation is in injury, for lack of a better word. We are bleeding and screaming out for help without our understanding. But the way we act, the way we reason, shows that we are screaming. That's how bad it has become. Finding a truly genuine person amongst your close people is a tough task. Assuming my friend who assisted to take my brother to the hospital had taken the usual trend that is happening of late, of I'm on my way, I am almost there, give me 5 minutes, and all the other phrases that you know, perhaps my brother would have passed from home and we would find it very difficult to forgive ourselves that we didn't try enough. Reliability, dependability, be one of the kind and look out for the same, but mostly be one, so that when your friend is busy looking out for someone of the kind, you can be found. Number 3, good deeds reap good deeds. What you do for others will be done unto you. The hand that gives is the hand that receives. We have had these statements from time immemorial. My brother finished his race on the 6th of October. That was a Wednesday. And we laid him to rest on the 7th. which was a Thursday, the day I was supposed to come back to Kampala. But we were overwhelmed by the people's love and concern. We are still in awe, extremely humbled by all who traveled from very, very far. Some came on a border. Those who gave us company and still do. The social support, the spiritual support, the financial support, everything you can think of. You all touched our hearts deeply, deeply. I want to thank my family for sowing good seeds in their humble manner whenever they get a chance and whenever they create a chance. I believe people naturally return good deeds. Keep doing good without coercion. All that we received was definitely a fruit from a place of goodness. Thank you, and thank you very much. Number 4, fast-tracking life is a scam. Life unfolds at its own pace. Oh yes. On the 28th of August, my father turned 70 years. And these were some of his wishes on that day. At the age of 70, what are you most looking forward to at the moment?
The moment see my children grow up. I wish them all to get married. I wish them to get me grandchildren. And I wish I leave them happy the way I'm happy today.
In his eulogy, my father mentioned that the most hurting thing was the fact that my brother didn't leave him with at least one grandchild. And what's shocking, the relatives and friends and all other people kept on asking this one question: was he having a family? Did he leave a child behind? Hey guys, life has its embedded principles which come naturally with growth. Growth of all living things, whether animals, whether birds or vegetation. Growth has nothing to do with age. There is psychological growth, there is this usual calendar growth, there's the flesh growth. All this falls under the umbrella of spiritual, social, and financial growth. And each growth happens quite differently for all living things, including human beings. There is need to learn how life treats us and refrain from judging. It's very tempting and easy to fall into the judgment trap because of comparisons. Let's always dig deeper and try to be empathetic as we possibly can. Number 5, study your friends. We all have people we call friends. But what makes you call them friends? We need to tread carefully since we are never in the know of someone's motive towards us. Keep watch. Trust a few or none. My brother didn't know that the people whom he spent time with, laughing together, drinking together, working together, spending time in any way possible, would have ill intentions for him. We are at war. It's a battle every day. That's why you need to be very vigilant and prepared all the time. Study your so-called friends closely. What have I learned from my brother's personality? Number 1, keep daring. Keep daring. SABIITI Andrew was the definition of daring. In his short life, he was very industrious. He could never think of something to be too difficult or complicated for him. He dared. And shockingly, for every shot he took to dare, he would be amazed at the results. But his ambitious mind couldn't let him be comfortable. He would quickly be on the run, looking for something more challenging. But the biggest lesson here is keep daring. One day you will land on your perfect match, whatever you are looking for in life. Keep daring. Number 2, extremely hardworking. All the hardworking people I have come to meet in life, I recognize them after my brother SABIITI. If he committed to do something, he would give it his all. If it means spending sleepless nights, he would be up for weeks until he gets something done. If he sleeps tired, perhaps from work or after taking in too much, that would never be an excuse for him not to be up before the cock crows. He was an early bird. No matter the circumstances, he would be up very early. Number 3, idleness. If there is one thing Andrew dreaded, it was idleness. Hey! The moments when he wouldn't have work, he would make my phone busy. Nelly, I can't afford to sit in one place. Nelly, I need something to do. Nelly, what do you think of this idea? And this idea? How about this idea? His head was full of ideas, and very good ideas, by the way. He executed some and failed to start on others because of resources. But idleness was his enemy. 4, excellence. He always liked to work on something and leave no room for questions or adjustments. However, he was good with feedback and good at applying it too. He was a fast learner, good at analyzing situations, and good at sacrificing to have something done well. Oh, I'll miss you, Sabo. I'll really miss you. And 5, he was good at apologizing. Sabo was good at acknowledging his mistakes, and apologizing was never a heavy load for him. If you make him understand his mistake before him noticing, he would quickly apologize. He loved his peace, which is something very hard for majority of us. Let's pick a leaf. If not, maybe we pick a whole branch, or even we uproot a tree and learn how to apologize. 6, pain absorber. This one here is probably one of the reasons he's not with us at the moment. Sabo would never cry out to anyone because of being in pain. Never. Even now, this very time with what happened, he had not shared his pain, but my other brother observed him and notified Mommy. He would only do it when he was almost losing hope, and those are actually countable times. He chose me to be his confidant. Sometimes he would tell me about his pain and cautions me not to say it to anyone, especially our old folks. And I would indeed not mention a thing until we are out of danger and he narrates the story himself. I remember the times he would be sick and the only person he wanted to be with him was me. Oh, SABIITI, my dear, I'll miss you. And 7, he was very protective. When it came to protect his family and friends, he would run miles to do it. He had a soft heart that many wouldn't see because of his physical appearance. He looked tough. He looked quite tough, even though he was a kind and jolly man. In fact, some of the extraordinary things he would do for people, we would only know from those people, but not from him. He learnt well the lesson of what the right hand does, the left hand ought not to know. He lived that to the dot. I remember him protecting me jealously since primary. There used to be a day club called Souls in Ibarra town, and my friend used to go there. So one day he heard me talk about going there and he shut me up. He said, if I ever find you there, I'll make it rain on you. He said, I had no idea what happens in that place. And that made me change my mind. I crossed out clubs until I finished university, thanks to him. And 8, God-fearing and positive-minded he was. People would get surprised to hear that SABIITI went to a discipleship school. He studied the Bible well, to the extent of being a great preacher. His relationship with God was very personal, too personal. He wasn't a show-off kind. And sometimes one would wake up to his positive messages and Bible quotations. Like this one: destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. It is not something to be waited for, but rather something to be achieved. Wake up and run after yours. And then another one is right here. Life is a journey. No matter how rough the path you are on today, take heart. Don't be taken up or lose hope. The smooth one is just a step away. Stay strong, my Nelly. Mwah. Oh, I'll miss this. I'll really miss this. Another surprising thing to many is that SABIITI walked 269 kilometers from Bara to Kampala at the Uganda Matters Shrine as a pilgrim. His faith made him walk that distance. May that faith make his soul be received. Let us not be show-offs. Let us nurture our relationship with God privately, and actions speak for us. Thank you, SABIITI Andrew, for all these lessons. We shall definitely meet where you have gone ahead of us. I continue to call upon family and friends to pray for SABIITI Andrew's soul. Thank you. This has been the longest video I have made so far, but I needed to make it and be at peace. We heal differently, and this is part of my healing journey. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like and share the video if you have learned something that you feel is worth being shared. And leave a comment below if you have ever lost a sibling. Tell me, how did you go about it? Till next time we meet in another video. Cheers!